How does it feel to
Yes.
have this film, your film, honored by the Human Rights Commission?
It's an incredible honour for us to be, given this award, and particularly, obviously, because it's about Alan Turing, who was so appallingly treated. He really is. He's a gay icon, and he was a hero, and he helped, stop the war and save 14 million lives. So to get the kind of recognition that the film is getting a lot of recognition, and to be awarded this is a real treat. And I know that it means it's moving for all of the people who made the film, for Harvey, for Morton who directed it, and it's a shame that Benedict can't be here this evening, but he's touched beyond. So yeah, it's great.
Wonderful. Why is the award important to you?
Why is the award important to me? I don't ever win anything, so that's really nice. But if I'm being honest, some people are way down with awards. Not me, chum. This is number one. No, it's great because ultimately it means one of the great things about our job in general is you get to tell stories, and this was a really important story, particularly as an Englishman, because the first thing I knew about Alan Turing was not that he was a hero or that he was a scientist. It was a gay professor who was chemically castrated, and that was what was in my textbook. So one of the things about bringing the film to a wider audience meant that this man's story could be told, and therefore the textbook that I picked up would be very outdated, and that's what the HRC Awards can also help with. So that's one of the reasons that I'm really chuffed to have been awarded it.
What does this movie say about people who think differently?
Well, it's a line that comes from the film, and there are a few times where it's quoted in the film, and I like to think we all think quite differently. Particularly Alan Turing, he definitely was well out there, and what the film is saying is that someone he wasn't treated particularly well at school either, but someone who thinks that way can obviously make an enormous difference, not just to a small centric part of their lives, but to an entire world, and that's what we tend as a community, particularly when you're younger, when you grow up a little bit and you have had a bit more experience, not so much, but as we've seen on the stage this evening, talking about transgender communities and gay communities, we haven't moved along that far, and just from the fact that Selma didn't get nominations, people are starting to worry about how people of ethnicity are seen in media. And I think all these questions about sexuality and about race and everything have got to start getting answered a bit more.
What do you want people to take away from the film?
From the film? There's several things, really. The one that Benedict's, one of my good mates' performances is astoundingly good, I think, really. And I think one of the things, so from the side of how the film looks and how people, whether they enjoyed it, I want to see people that we worked really hard, and so I'm glad that I want them to take an enjoyment factor away from the film. And as I said earlier, I want them to have a greater understanding of Alan and his life and what he achieved. And as you said, there is this message. So it's about spreading that message of actually, why don't we embrace people who are a bit different rather than stamping on them?